Bernard, you've been asked for over a decade how you're still able to do this at such an advanced age. But with so much money in the bank, your legacy secure, I think the bigger question is why?
Why? It's because I still not only love what I do, but I still have the drive to be able to push the envelope where no one has ever attempt and push it before. I mean, these are the things I believe that only people that comes along in our lifetime. And I believe I'm one of those people that comes along that understands the opportunity to do something not only great, but do something historic that probably won't be reproduced and copied again in my lifetime. Those things don't come around every day in nobody's life, all the time. And when you have that type of time to do it, and the body comes along with the experience that's still holding up to standards of being respectful, you play that hand and you get all you can get out of it in a respectful way, and just understand that this is something that's not something that comes along all the time.
Sergey Kovalev just might be the biggest puncher pound for pound in the entire sport. What did you see in him that gave you confidence to pursue this fight?
It ain't actually what I see in him, it's what I know in myself. And that's the difference between me and other athletes in any sport, is that yes, we got to look at our opponents, we got to study our opponents, but you got to know you first. You got to know what you can do. Disregard or don't disregard what he can do, because I respect my opponent, but it's more of what I have done, but not to live in the past, and who I am now, present, to understand that I will put that up against anybody's record when it comes to professional prize fighting. And that's where the difference becomes between me, Kovalev, or anyone else, is that it ain't what they actually can do or cannot do, is what I've done and continue to do.
There's what I like to call a real dare to be great element in this fight. In an era when a lot of big name fighters aren't really risking it, why do you think in this case that there's so many fighters that are unwilling to take tough fights like this?
Because they're not Bernard Hopkins, period. They're not Bernard Hopkins, they're not the alien, they're not the former executioner, they're not the throwback of old school. The game is different, the mindset is different. We all know that in time things make adjust, people make adjust, society makes adjustments, we all make adjustments. Boxing has made that adjustment. Unfortunately, because some of the big fights that you would love to have seen will never get a chance to see. I made this fight, Main Events made this fight. It happened as quick as it was said, talked about. That's the old school that I remember coming from in this new age era, this new age that I'm living in. And it's shocking to some people, but with Golden Boy and Oscar and the fights that we plan on doing, and the relationship in the Cold War that started with me being the last guy on HBO from Golden Boy fighting, I wanted to be important. I wanted it to be important. I'd be the first guy back.
How would a win in this fight rank against some of your biggest ones, including against Felix Trinidad, Kelly Pavlik, etc.?
It will rate in any era of my success in a historic manner. High in there, but not one, not two, not three, because I didn't get to the point, and I can look you in your face and say to you that when you have a problem singling out one or two or three different things I've done, that's a hell of a career. I don't know. What's my favorite? What's my favorite? If that was asked, even before November 8th, my favorite is beating Kelly Pavlik. My favorite night was that night.
Why?
Because for the first time, they had a Youngstown, Ohio, as the segment on HBO, if you can Google it sometime in this week and see it yourself, had what I know I am, the American story from Youngstown, Ohio, but I'm from Philadelphia, the old steel mill in left Ohio. You got the old town that everybody left, and then Kelly Pavlik with his mother washing coffee tables, and you got the old Youngstown country boy. That's the image that most of us haven't got away from, that old thinking of American laundry, which is dirty.
You're the new American.
And so, when Kelly Pavlik was the opposite of me in that position, they went out so boldly and said, not only will he beat me, he will knock me out. That was the greatest moment of my life, because it was undeniably white against black, the American story against the thug, even though he changed his life, the convicted felon, the Y4145. So it was me representing an entity that have changed in spite of what they say you should do and what you should be able to do, and once you do it, they really don't want you to do it. And so I exposed it, and I beat him easily after being a 6-1 underdog. And matter of fact, it even went even further. I ruined his life. I ruined his career. That wasn't actually me outside of the physical. I did it physically and probably mentally. But the bosses of all bosses shut him down. And that's a person that can't be bought. That's an entity that can't be swayed. That's an entity that can't be brought under the table or corrupted by any politics or sports or boxing. That wasn't my doing. But was my doing was the physical. I contribute that to the table.